Can you nitro a whiskey and make it smoother? We'll find out. All right, ready?
Hold on.
Nice.
Were you around whenever we did the carbonated with like the fizzy whiskey episode?
No.
Okay, I didn't think it was gonna be able to come together because the research I was doing, the soda stream isn't powerful enough to carbonate a whiskey. And they stumbled upon this thing called the Drinkmate that supposedly carbonates anything. In that episode, one of the cooler things about the result was it just was much more drinkable. It was about as hot as drinking a beer. Whoa, that is carbonated.
Because it's carbonated, I want to drink it like soda.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it added like these bitter notes from obviously the carbon dioxide,
Sure.
the carbonation. So I want to do a side-by-side comparison because it does change the texture. It makes it much more drinkable. But if we nitro whiskey, can we still get the softness without getting the
bubbles?
Well, without getting the bitter notes specifically. I don't care if
Okay.
there's bubbles or not. I
that's
just want
like-
the texture. Have you seen how these work?
All
All right, you slide this in here. Not sponsored by whoever Drinkmate is. You want to push the button?
Yes.
Go ahead. What are you doing?
I don't know why I can't do it.
All right, let go. So immediately,
Dude, wow.
just crazy amounts of bubbles in here. This is, by the way, a rock hard bourbon. This was designed to go on the rocks. All right.
Dude, what?
All right, you're good. All right, there's some safety features here.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, it's just everywhere. Why is it just so messy just being around you?
I didn't do it.
All right, so we got a lot of carbon dioxide. It's just a cloud
Is that safe?
sitting on top of that. What? Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, that was a lot.
So this is continuously just rolling,
Bubbling.
giving us the bubbles. This is the first time you've ever had fizzy whiskey?
Yes.
Here we go.
Sorry. I want to make sure.
So it bubbles like soda.
Whoa! Holy sh! That's actually really good.
Yeah, so this is like cask strength whiskey.
Oh.
The bubbles make you want to drink it like it's a beer or a soda.
Yeah.
And, So maybe we put this on the menu here in the tasting room.
Yeah. Just for
Crowder Barrel
trying.
in South Austin, if you guys want us to carbonate the pour. Just
Yeah, way to say where we are.
Yeah.
People never know where we're located.
We're really bad about that.
Yeah.
We're in Austin. This is tasting room. People can come in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got stuff. It's cool. Whatever the nitro is going to do, it's not going to give us that much bubblage.
Mm-hmm.
But can you tell there is the bitter quality added from that?
It's at the end. Yeah.
Is there a way to get that softening of the texture, that smoother texture in a nitro whiskey without the bitter note? That's what we want to lean into right now. So we got a handful of different whiskeys. We re-invited the Unknown Alchemist. Oh my gosh, the reception. Ready?
Let's get nerdy. Let's get nerdy.
Okay. Whoa, the gas. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Let's get nerdy. That actually takes a lot of energy.
Thank you for coming back. I have been looking forward to this ever since you busted out that whipped cream maker, and you gave us something that you dared us to decide whether or not it had alcohol in it, and it was one of the smoothest, softest things ever, and then it had so much booze.
Call me a liar and say that that is non-alcoholic.
Alcoholic as Let me try.
Dude, you're doing the whipped cream maker right now. How is this whipped cream maker, how's that different than what we were just doing with this Drinkmate, the carbonated bubbles?
So when you carbonate a beverage that has water present, you are going to make carbonic acid. And carbonic acid is going to give you that very signature soda water taste. Nitrogen won't give you that. It does deliver a smoother experience. The bubbles are significantly smaller than CO2 bubbles, so they won't hold in solution the same way, but they will provide a silkier mouthfeel.
If we can soften that burn and leave room for the flavors to show up, then they can find that complexity, that nuance, the subtlety without adding things like bitterness.
So the proof of the spirit will matter. The higher the proof, the more of the nitrogen that can be dissolved into the ethanol.
Let's play with this. What's the technique? What are you doing?
Well, now I'm gonna need a glass.
This episode is sponsored by Whiskey.
Now we need to get a glass over here. We're gonna go through about a whole bunch of different ones for us to play with in the tasting room, in the bar expansion that we're working on. What kind of glass are we looking for here? We want something short and squatty, we want something beautiful.
That highball looks like it'll probably work pretty well.
You wanna do the highball?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's sick.
it's like a diamond cut type of deal.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. We went through and we chose the glasses that we thought were gonna be the coolest, but they have so many to choose from. All different kinds of styles, all different types of like cocktail specialties that you'd wanna play with.
Dude, look at this. Check this out.
That's classy.
Look at
as
the
hell.
ripples.
Oh,
You see the
there's
ripples like
right
that?
here?
Yeah.
The most clean, simple rocks glass.
Oh, yeah.
And then
those wine glasses?
Yeah, we got wine glasses. We have beer and wine on the property now, so all the MBs that are showing up, we're doing a bunch of sourced local brews from amazing award-winning beer makers. Look at that. It's like,
Oh, did you hear that?
yeah. And this looks awesome.
Ready?
Thank you to our sponsor, Visky. They have amazing glassware, amazing barware. You can check out their link in the description down below.
This can be a little bit of a violent reaction, and you do want it to be as violent of a reaction as possible because the evacuation of that nitrogen is what causes all of the reactions. If you go slow, you probably won't get the best possible result.
Okay.
We might try this a couple of times. The best version right now. Yeah.
We need to figure out how to blast that in there. So this seems to be the shape of the container that's going to minimize the amount of mess. Is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
Okay.
That's the theory.
All right, here we go.
So you gotta hold the tube in.
Yeah. Whoa, the gas. Whoa.
And that does actually work if you hold the tube in.
If you hold the tube, yeah. That is cool as hell, man. It's just sitting on top.
It should be a little bit more cloudy. Now there are bubbles in this. There are bubbles present.
Let's get into the rock hard, the carbonated version. We have the nitroed version. Let's just dive in and see what happens whenever you nitro across categories. Yeah. Cloudy
Oh,
nitro.
but you can see, yeah, the difference in the cloudiness.
For sure. Okay. It's still there, but it feels like it's just the hotness is dialed back. But I want to know if the flavors are still coming through.
Oh, that's really nice. But it's not as carbonated.
Well, yeah, the bubbly. That's nitroed. I want to see if this compares. Okay. Yeah, especially on the finish. The bitter, the carbonation, the bitiness,
Yeah.
that is showing up on the Drinkmate carbonated thing. This is softer.
Yeah.
We need to compare this to the rock hard,
Just Nate.
So we have the carbonated thing we did. This is the one that hasn't had anything done to it. So there's just like the baseline. You want to do side by side? Okay.
It is different.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. But like you know how a honeycomb is and how it has like the holes in it? It kind of feels like that one, like that. And then this one's just like regular clear liquid. Does that make any sense?
No.
The nitro one's honeycomb, this one's not.
Okay. It's definitely softer, but it leaves the flavor. Dude, you're getting the flavor, but you're not getting that ethanol burn quite as much.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It like the ethanol burn in the regular pour,
Yeah.
right? And it's like all at once kind of. And then this one, it like stretches it thinner. It's still there,
Yeah.
but it elongates.
Yeah, no, we're still drinking like neat pours of
And
whiskey.
lessens it.
It takes the heat from that proof. This is cask strength. It takes the heat from that proof back several proof points. You got a gimmicks, you got some tubing, you got a whipped cream maker, then yeah, you inject some nitrogen and then
Get weird with
just
it.
get weird.
Just get weird.
Let's get weird with some other categories and see what happens.
Let's do a Highland Park.
All right, there you go.
We don't really need to let this sit. I do shake it just to make sure that everything is dissolved. So you do still want some matter to come out. Not much.
Yeah.
So when you evacuate the nitrogen, you will still get a good carbonation. So you should see.
Wow, it's way cloudier.
Dude, yeah.
Look at the cloudy.
Look at it.
While we have talked about it, and we've mentioned the carbonic acid and the bitter taste, bitter does cancel out other flavors. So it'll cancel out sweetness. It'll cancel out other more complex notes.
Yeah.
So by not having the bitter there, you do get a little bit more true sense of the original whiskey.
Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly what I was hoping for. To get the softening, but to not overwhelm the flavors, so you're not sacrificing those notes for the sake of texture.
Nitric acid is also being created here, not in the same amount of quantities as carbonic, but also when you're using a higher ethanol percentage, you have less water available. It's the interaction with water that is creating the acid. So by limiting the amount of water, you will limit the acid being created.
Let's do the same kind of glasses to experience this. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And then check it, compare.
Whoa.
Softer. If the proof is not a challenge for you and you're just looking for intensity, then you don't need to mess with this. But if the texture, the hotness, heat of the ethanol is something that you want to dial back, then hell yeah, this is like a really cool way to play with it. You drank the standard, now you drink the nitro. I'm going for the standard.
Dude, that's actually really good.
Can you tell if it's blind?
Ooh,
okay.
Good call.
Okay, so first try this one. Now, there you go, you got that.
Kind of feeling the second one a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, blind me.
Okay.
Let's say this one's nitro, this one's standard.
You're correct.
Yeah. So in the lower proof, it's not as big of an effect. It's basically the more ethanol is in there, that's where you're going to see the biggest result. It doesn't change the intrinsic flavor
No.
of the spirit, which is if you're exploring a whiskey, you don't want to like obfuscate it with like layers in a cocktail. If you want that fundamental baseline profile to stay the same, but just tease back the heat, this is really freaking cool. Let's give Power some love.
So this time we're just gonna hold a Glencairn over it.
Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Oh yeah. Okay. The bubble size, these are so tiny. Like not even a pinhead, just
Yeah.
you can barely see it, like a speck of dust tiny. I went on the,
It actually kind of bursts the flavors up a little bit in the nitro one.
okay, wait, it teased up the flavors?
Yeah.
Okay,
Try
what
it,
about,
hurry.
What about the ethanol
Right?
in the Irish?
Yeah, it's
It-
like
yeah.
the there's like a pear and like a
Yeah, no, the
little
nose,
cookie.
but it's not ethanol, heat.
Part of the reason the nose might be changing is because the nitrogen, as it's escaping, is actually bringing up some of those essential oils directly to your face a little bit easier.
Yeah. We gotta start using some more powers.
I know, Powers is good.
Yeah. Okay, this, I like the unnitroed better because
But for
the
nosing?
intensity of the flavor. No, the nosing, this is so
The
interesting.
nitro's better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's the flip though on the palate. The palate, it's more present, it's more intense on the unnitro version.
Do you think that would be possible? Carbonating blood? Like if you're a vampire? Wow.
Alex and I were having lunch yesterday. Somehow the topic of cannibalism came up.
How weird.
Then you came up and it's like, would Brianna eat a person? Immediately, simultaneously, we both said, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, if we were in a time where that had to happen and somebody was like, I sacrificed myself to be eaten, I'm not gonna say no.
It would be rude.
That would be rude. And you should try everything once.
Well, not everything. In your parameters of, your theory of life, I'm gonna say a word and you would try this once.
Okay. I mean,
Wow.
like,
Oh my God.
let's say we had just way too many, not enough supplies. You might as well make a game out of it.
Wow.
Let's, okay, this is terrible. That's so bad.
Something that you were talking about yesterday, most people don't clearly understand what flavor actually is.
The organ of the tongue can perceive the universally accepted 5 basic tastes. So sour, salty, sweet, bitter, and umami. But flavor is actually a smell. There can be billions of different flavor molecules, and we haven't named them all. We've barely, I think, named several hundred million, but that are created through caramelization, through many different processes. So flavor is a smell, taste is perceived by your tongue.
So let's move on to, we're gonna do a scotch. We're gonna do like a sweet scotch. The high proof we did was the rock hard, mile high proof. Let's see if it tracks with the Irish.
Right.
Because the Irish, it woke up the nose, but it put the palate to sleep. I recently learned something. You know what? No. I'm not sharing my one dad joke.
It's not good. I'll tell it. I'll tell it. It's bad. I recently learned something recently, and it was that the T in T-shirt stands for Tyrannosaurus shirt.
The best dad joke ever.
It's the worst.
Right?
It's the worst. Don't encourage this.
So it's just
Okay.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So in monkey shoulder, I do get like a little bit of a dustiness in there. This one has more of, there's like a sweetness, right?
Okay.
And then this one kind of pushed up. There's still sweetness, but it's covered in the dust. You know what I'm saying?
That was exactly the experience in the glass. The only thing that I can say across these categories, across these proofs, does it make a difference? Yes.
Yes.
Is it noticeable? Yes. Is it consistent from category to category?
No.
We would have to figure out, the proof would need to be the same, the category would need to be the same, the mash bills, like all of these things would need to be the same for us to lean into a definitive statement, but it's a difference and it's gonna soften something, whether it be the nose or the palate.
Right.
You guys, if you wanna see more deep dives into the science and the explanation of what's going on with whiskey and he wants to be doing some food pairing type of stuff, the types of things that he's doing is I would love to do that. This is a whiskey channel though. If you wanna go in that playground, then in the comments, just give the Unknown Alchemist some love. You know what, he's gonna be embarrassed that I'm saying this. He travels an hour and a half to get here to do these with us, so give him some thumbs up.
Yeah. Let's get